Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And I have to say that this is the second seminar that I have had the honour to talk at in Korea, and it's the second time that I have managed to achieve the distinct privilege of speaking last in the afternoon. So thanks to all of you who have stuck around, and most particularly Ambassador Raper, thank you very much indeed for your resilience and your patience in sitting around and listening to the very last. It's greatly appreciated. Whilst I'm on the topic of congratulations, when last I spoke here in Korea, I mentioned that we at Intercontinental Energy believe that Korea is currently the most advanced nation in the world in terms of its energy and its efforts in hydrogen and green energy deployment. And you'll be interested to know that a month ago I spoke at the annual Japan Energy Summit, and I made that point to the Japanese, which as you can imagine in Tokyo caused some comment. But the main comment after the speech that came back to me from the Japanese was thanks, because they do realize that they are lagging Korea. And I thought I'd let you know that, all of you Koreans, because you are, in our view, leading the world, and I'll come back to that in a short while. So, telling you a little bit more about Intercontinental Energy, who we are and what we do. We are in a fortunate position of being able to stand here and tell you what we're doing as distinct from what we think we might be going to do in the future with regards to green hydrogen. At the moment, Intercontinental Energy is the world's largest integrated green hydrogen development platform. We were founded in 2014, which in the broad scope of business life doesn't sound like very long, but in the green hydrogen business, it's a long time. We indeed have been in this business, about twice as long as anybody else. We've got 4 projects in 3 countries across the Asia Pacific and the Middle East, with upstream hybrid renewables of around 200 gigawatts, that translating to about 10 million tonnes a year of green hydrogen, and as you will see, north of half of that is going to come out of Western Australia. The sites that we have are global tier 1 sites as a result of their geography and their optimal diurnal wind and solar profile, and that resource quality allows for 70% plus electrolysis utilization factor across all of our projects. And that is critical, because the title of this conference that not many people have spoken to is H2 for under $2. And we have now realized that the way you get there today, in today's world with today's technology, is by virtue of exploiting the very best resources in the world at very large scale. Technology will merely make that better into the future. We've made and are making solid progress. Our first project financial investment decision will be in 2025. We have quite a unique phased development and modular construction process that allows us to essentially build across these very large projects that we have on a step-by-step basis, seamlessly, and we have focused, because of the size of our projects, on the onshoring of our value chain. Moving on to where these projects are, I won't spend too much time in the Middle East. I'll start there. We've got Green Energy Oman, which is obviously in Oman, which is a 25 plus gigawatt project. It's the most advanced of our projects in terms of timing, and will be getting to FID by 2025. The Saudi Arabia Renewable Energy Hub is yet to be announced. It's going to be 50 plus gigawatts in partnership with Aramco and the Modern Group. And moving on, most importantly, to Australia and West Australia. The most advanced project that we have there is the Asian Renewable Energy Hub, which started development in 2015. It's in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. It has a 100-year land lease signed with the West Australian Government, lead agency status and major project status with the state government and federal government respectively. And probably most cogently is that the project had BP join it quite recently, just a couple of months ago, picking up 40.5% ownership, and will be assuming the operatorship pretty much as we talk. And then lastly, but not leastly, the Western Green Energy Hub, which is in the far southeast of Western Australia. Development started in 2019. The land license is secured. It's got lead agency status from the West Australian Government, and it is on a very rapid development pathway. We are looking to do financial investment decision on that project in late 2026, early 27. Further on Intercontinental Energy, our substance, as it were, we have GIC, the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Singapore, as our first major strategic investor. We are busy in a second round of corporate investment attraction at the moment, and expect to shortly secure another party like GIC, and around 2025 we will be going out to refund again. And at a project level, as I've already mentioned, we have BP entering the project in AREH, and if one looks at the Middle East, I think you can assume that probably oil and gas will figure in a fairly major way in those projects as well, whilst the Western Green Energy Hub will be developed by us on a standalone basis. Lastly, just running through a couple of things. We have a diversified portfolio that I've spoken to, a phased rollout plan. But item number 4, ICE projects feature substantial cost advantages, which are driven by location, scale, and diurnal wind solar resource profile. Just to give you an idea of scale, we've heard a number of comparisons being made around the size of states. Let me put this to you as an indication of project scale. The Western Green Energy Hub, in terms of area, is larger than the country of Belgium. So that's the scale of things that we're dealing with. And it's because of that scale and because of the quality of resource that the fully developed costs of green hydrogen from all of the intercontinental portfolio projects will be at the bottom end of the lowest decile of the global hydrogen cost curve. And that will be in perpetuity, because as technology improves the costs across the industry, so our projects will recapitalize and our projects will follow that cost curve downwards. Lastly, but not leastly, I do want to mention that Intercontinental has a unique and holistic ESG approach to doing business, which is far more detailed than I could get into in this discussion this afternoon. But what it does do is it lowers our project risks and maximizes our project returns. And we have a very deep bench of experienced management in place to drive these projects to completion. This is my third visit to Korea in a relatively short time. The reason why Intercontinental is in Korea is because of our recognition of Korea's primacy in the developing green hydrogen market, and because we are indeed pursuing a partnership with Team Korea in our projects, and we are actively at the moment involved in learning about Korea and building the relationships necessary to ensure that when we do business with Team Korea, it will be successful. and we very much look forward to that day occurring sooner rather than later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brendan.